Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burgers Art, and welcome back to another Sunday night art stream. Is it Sunday? It is Sunday. My time, my world has been flipped on its head, on its head, due to just a weird schedule change in my life. But I'm here. It is Sunday, and we are doing an art stream. Make sure the audio is coming along nice and clean. Let's do a little test. Make sure everything is copacetic. Do one last test. Give me a moment. But yeah, welcome back, guys. Sunday. Not to get too much into the finer details, but I had to not work on Friday. Some people are like, hey, that's awesome. You're not working Friday, you're not working Monday, because Monday's a holiday. But no, various things have happened. I am okay. It is just all my schedule in my life has gone up into the air. And maybe it will open up more time for me to do artwork. We'll see what happens. Okay, we are good. Why is the audio on that off? Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. As the title suggests, we are getting back into some more sprites. We are doing more and more sprites. I did. Where's my audio? There we go. So I'm getting into the habit of saving some of these songs. I'm going to download a bunch of these and make a nice little playlist. But each of these songs are only like 3 minutes long. These are like pop and funk songs, all from the YouTube free audio library, which is very nice. There we go. But anyway, yeah. Last week we did some sprites. For my game, the One-Armed Bandit, baby's first video game. And in between that time, I went back to the first stage. I've just been slowly plucking away at this annoying first stage. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just drawing a background for it. But I'm also learning things I shouldn't do and should do to make my life easier. So I'm extending the length of the stage. It's a straightforward stage, one end to the other, and I am going to be using certain tiles for the platforming areas as opposed to embedding those tiles into the background. If that makes sense. Fact is, I'm learning stuff as I go. And what are we doing today, though? Today, we're gonna work on the armadillo. So we're gonna right now start off with this is idle animation, just him kind of like breathing, if you would. Maybe have his ear twitch, and then we'll go to another animation of him firing the gun, rolling into a ball, and then returning. And the idea is, one animation is idle until our hero gets in line of sight. He fires, it changes to the other animation. When that animation ends, he resets. That's the idea. I know it's possible. I'm not fully aware of all the fine details of how to program it. But you can't program what you don't have, so I'm going to start doing some work on this. Okay, new frame. Let me zoom in. let's start with some basics. Just the gun kind of gently rocking up and down. So let's select that and just move it up a few pixels. Nice. Bam, bam. Now, to make it easy for me, new layer, new layer. That's what I have this selected, but it copied and pasted the entire thing. That's annoying. Alright. But we know what to do. We know what we're doing. There we go. Should I have his tail wiggle? That's an idea. Hey, dude. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking get his tail to wiggle a little bit. How do I zoom out? I know Z is a zoom tool, but how do you zoom out? Oh, it's right click. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta set all these frames to a certain speed. Give me a second. So I usually set at 250. Frame number 250. Wait, all the frames. All the frames at 250, please. That way, when I drop into the program, and I set the program at a certain timer. So 250 is a certain speed that when I drop it, it's duration in milliseconds. So when I drop into the program I want and I set the program at a certain speed, it matches it more or less. So Let me see. Bum, 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 bum. I'm thinking. New frame. Okay. That way. So it starts here, goes up a little bit, goes up more, and then it drops back down. So I should need to copy this. That's one of the issues I have with this. Like, when it tries to duplicate a frame, it overwrites the one next to it, which is a pain in the butt. Paste. This frame and okay, I want to copy these frames. Why won't you copy? Copy, copy. Then I go over here. Paste. Is that right? That one. And that one. Nope. It's still doing this weird thing where just... Here's one frame. Here's two frame. 3. 4. Wait. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. So now, is that right? Lowest, higher, higher, back down, and then there. Unless it's not, unless the speed is off, could be the frame speed that's bothering me. No, that's okay. How about you? Is your frame speed correct? No, that's okay. Just double checking on my frame speeds. That's to figure out why it doesn't look as smooth as I want it to be. I mean, it looks okay. I was hoping for a smoother animation. There's some stuff in the background I want to get rid of. Alright. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Hey, make his tail wiggle a little bit. Why not? Yeah, let's make his tail wiggle. What's going on here? Okay. Bow, no, 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 no. Oh, what's the eyedropper? It's I for eyedropper, B for everything else. I'm just gonna do a little 2-frame up and down animation for his tail. There we go. Look at that tail wiggle. I think it's cute. I think it works. It's not that one. Hold on. What's going on? Okay. Okay. So it's you. There we go. Trying to find the right layer. I like it. Alright, so we're going to save this as idle animation. Well, first things first, save as the actual file. We're going to save the actual file first. No, this is not a ping. This is... It's an Sprite file. So this is idle. 1 second. Oh, I like this one. There we go. All right. Save. So the idle animation saved. We are not exporting it yet into its individual frames. Not yet. Speaking of which, next. Okay. Now here's my conundrum. It's sprite placement, right? So let's say you have a sprite that's supposed to fall back and then return back to where it started. So my issue is always, is it the individual sprites, or do you still illustrate an entire, like, if he starts here and falls here and then gets back, that's one whole strip, one, what do you call it? Canvas, right? So do you keep the length of the canvas the entire time? Or do you just focus on the individual sprites individually and drop them in? I'm always never too sure about that, if that makes sense. I think we need to do here is first, can we edit, how do we edit the size of our page in this particular program? Bear with me. Adjustments, new brush, transform, shift, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's underneath file. It's underneath file. Properties. Nope, it's not properties, I'll tell you that much. Canvas size, boom. Let's make the width 200. And okay it. Ah. All right. So here's our idea. let me open the original sprite. Right? Boom. Here's the original sprite we had, right? Copy. Copy, copy, copy. If we're doing this right. Paste. Okay, let me zoom in real quick. Okay, they're on the same floor. Wait, deselect? Yeah. So. Now this one's a little tricky. Because I want to animate him shooting, falling back into the ball, popping his head out, and then getting back up. So the idea is, do I keep it all distance-wise on this one frame? I guess it should, right? It should be how it works. Because when you animate someone walking, you animate them walking in individual frames and then move that across. But if he's meant to have a set animation of him falling backwards and getting back up, I'm not moving that as part of the program. It is self-contained animation of him falling back and getting back up. So yeah, I think I do it all as one properly sized frame, if that makes sense. So, let's start with him shooting. Just bang! We'll figure that out right now. Okay, so we're going to duplicate the layer first. What I'm going to do is what I did before. Rather than completely redraw the gun, I'm going to go ahead and erase the gun on this layer, on the top layer. This layer that's above. Because it's right there. Oh, yeah. Basically, rather than redrawing it, I'm just kind of copying the layer and then seeing if I could, like, kind of cheat and keep it. There we go. I don't know why I love this guy so much. I just think he's the cutest thing around. Armadillos are naturally cute. I just think he is the cutest thing around. Like, I'm so strangely proud of this sprite. And then we do the opposite on this one. Not sure what I'm going to do with the gun. Not the gun, I mean the handle. I'm thinking. We fill in the handle. And not animate his hands. Like the gun kind of slips out of his hands. If that makes sense. So we'll just do that. Okay. Alright. Now obviously we're dealing with pixel art, so you can't just simply rotate the gun. But let's see how it looks at a certain rotation. Alright, so we're going to clean that up. That's kind of the rotation. Maybe. Right around that angle, but I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to make it look nicer. Right, deselect. So let's get in here and make it look a bit nicer, a bit cleaner. Come on, turn. Jeez. Okay, that's the issue I'm having there. There we go. That's a bit better. Oh, there's also the fact that it looks like it's... That's what it should look like. Okay. I was wondering why something looked weird about it. More like that. Okay. Alright, alright. This file saved as, save as, and we are doing, once again, an A sprite file, and this is fire to ball. Because from firing the gun to landing as a ball. Alright. Z. Alright. That's our first frame. Instant bam. That's our first frame. Let me get rid of some excess material here. There we go. Alright. See what we're going to do? I need to extend this a bit more to give room for the in-between frame. Or not even. I mean, it'll just land right there. So, let me... Oh, I know what to do. New frame. New frame. You see, bam, in between, him on the ground, him looking up, getting back. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the idea goes like this. 1 frame 2. Look. Frame 1. Why can't I get rid of you? There we go. Frame 2, we're going to get rid of him. Frame 3, we're going to get rid of him. Frame... No, wait. Falls back. That. Looks out. Okay, so we're dealing with 1 frame 1 and 2. Alright. This will make sense. I know what I'm doing, I swear. Oh, that's why I'm so confused. Frame 2 does not need that. So there we go. I'm trying to get my frames in order. So essentially, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3. Frame 3, once again, need to get rid of a few things here. So the gun should only appear in frame 1 to coincide with that. That's frame 3. That's frame 4. Don't need that. And then frame 5 we'll figure out. Okay. Now we're going to draw the in-between. All of that. Geez, all of that to get right there. File save. There we go. So it's falling backwards. Did I click the wrong color? I think I clicked the wrong color. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my intern monster, the monster intern. So the intern monster, he shows up once in a while to say hi. He is usually the one that handles video games on my streams. I do artwork, um, but since I know people like watching video games sometimes, whenever any gameplay is done on my streams, I let him handle it. So the last big group of games he did a while back was Cuphead. I've been telling him he needs to get off his butt and finish that. He actually got all the way to like the 4th island. So the intern monster needs to finish that game. And I told him he's not allowed access to the DLC I purchased for him unless he beats the last island. He has to beat the game first. So keep an eye out, because eventually he will return. I know, right? I'd dock his pay if I actually paid him, you know? I can't. I just taped all my windows shut for the winter time. And now the temperature's getting better. So the game I'm drawing for is my game. It's baby's first video game. I'm using a really simple program to make a video game. But I'm just kind of winging it. I have the idea and the concept of like the designs. So I'm just making the sprites for it. That's what this video game's for. It's called a One-Armed Bandit. It is a kind of Western style video game. It's a side scroller. So all the villains are like cowboys and rattlesnakes and armadillos, like Wild West stuff. As for the intern needs to finish playing Cuphead. So Cuphead, he got pretty far in Cuphead. Like I said, he got to like the fourth island, which I believe is like the last stage. But then he never got a chance to finish it. So I told him, listen, now's your time. Winter time, go finish it. So I'm going to get the intern to get back on Cuphead. But in the meantime, I'm doing what this website, what my channel is mainly meant for, which is the artwork. So like I said, keep an eye out for his work on that when he starts being lazy. But also, be sure to tune in for more stuff. I've done backgrounds for the One-Armed Bandit. I have already the main hero. All his sprites are done. And I'm just making a few more villain sprites. And the sprites is the easy part, quote unquote, because I'm still learning this particular program. It's the programming that's a bit tricky. So I'm just going about it nice and slow. It's baby's first video game. I want to hopefully maybe get like 5 stages with bosses. And then one day I'll put it on Steam or something. So, you know, that's what we're working on tonight. They change the frame rate. Did it change all the frame rates or did it just do one at a time? No, that's okay. I'm double checking to see if it changed all the frame rates. No, it did not. I had them all highlighted and it did not. Okay. We'll gain the gist of it. Okay, so how about... What I need is the gun from... I need the gun from this guy. Without it fudging me over. Do not fudge me over. Something went wrong. Nope. Nope, we're good. Are we good? I don't know. Hold on. Okay. I have him, and him. Right? So I want this. Want this. Copy. Paste. There we go. Nope. Just this. There we go. We should just black it out. That way you could see it. Yeah, that way we could see it a bit better against the armadillo. That way. Yeah, okay, that's better. So, if this makes sense, give me a second. Triggy, thank you for following. Awesome. Much appreciated. Yep, that looks good. Because it goes bang, falls back, lands there. Okay, that's it. That's the first few steps. Now let's do a little smoke animation. Okay, let me go here and delete that for now. There we go. I think try to think of how to do the smoke. Do. Yeah. There we go. Copy, paste. Nope, that just cut it. How come I can't copy and paste right here? Copy. Paste. Nope, it's still just cutting it for some reason. Copy. Paste. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Thank you very much. We're gonna put you. Nope. Why is everything moving? Thank you. No. Stop moving. Deselect. Thank you. What is going on? Why can't I just select it anymore? Oh, I'm using the wrong tool. That's why. You idiot. There we go. Alright. So we're going to cheat. We're going to take panel 2 of him falling back. Reuse it for the... This is a 7-panel frame. Because actually this is one where I want time to go by before he resets to shoot at you. So he shoots at you, falls back, resets, goes back. So we're grabbing panel 2. We're going to repeat it at the end of this, which is panel 7 now. Copy. New empty frame. Edit. Paste? No. Copy. Paste. There we go. Okay. And we're gonna futz around with this one and see what we can come up with. So first, We're going to get rid of these action lines. Because now he's jumping forward anyway. He's angry again. And his ears will be facing back because he's leaping forward. So you make his ears lean back like that. Okay, this I'm gonna delete. We have a random piece here, so delete frame. There we go. Falls back, hits the ground, smoke bellows a little bit. Okay, so let me get rid of this part of this layer. I don't need this part right here. All right. And we're gonna add some action lines. Alright, I think. Now let me check the property on this. Nope, that's the wrong one. Frame rate. Yep, frame rate is good. Frame rate is good, okay. Let's center this, that way you guys can see it better. So it goes, instantly it goes from, remember this is a loop from the bang to resetting. So it doesn't have the idle animation in it, so. Bang. So it goes, bang, falls back, what? Bang, falls back, what? I like this. I like it. And I can actually do... I'm going to hit save. And what I can do is... Where are... Okay, so is it... Let me see. It's 3, 4, and 5. So 3, 4, and 5. Nope. That's not going to do it. I'm trying to see if I can repeat 3, 4, and 5 to like really sell that. That's the issue with this program. It's hard to just like repeat a frame or if I deleted the frame next to it. So that's the only issue I'm having with this. I want him to shoot. I also want him to not have this in the background. He shoots. He falls back. He hits the ground. I kind of want this to repeat itself. Then he looks up. Then he gets back up. Let me see. New frame. New frame. New frame. It's a 12 frame animation with half of them repeating. So it does this. Bang. Wait, is it repeating? What the hell just happened? He falls back. Then... Yeah. Oh, you know what I want? I know what I want. So there's 3, there's 4, 5, 6, nope, 7, 8. 8 goes there. Alright, so smoke, smoke, smoke. Wait, double check, double check. Okay, smoke, smoke, smoke. Nope. So this one needs to be moved. There we go. Because it should be bang, smoke, 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 smoke. He looks up, gets back up. Got it. There we go. Why are these frames going by so quickly? That shouldn't be. That should be fixed. Still 250. Every time I hear 250 or 350 or 450, I think I gave that Loch Ness Monster 350. That's a South Park joke. Sorry. I think the timing is a little odd for me. But I think it works though. I know I could do also. Okay. Full smoke. Then his head is out. His head is out. His head is out. So I can repeat the smoking animation for that as well. So 9. Erase that. Come on, 9. There we go. 10. Only the top one. 11 we leave. So the smoke animation stays repeating all the way through. Oh wait, there's a little hiccup somewhere. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Nope. There we go. 2, 3. There we go. So we got it. Now the real thing is the programming. He's idle. The character gets in line of sight. He switches from idle to the firing animation. Plays the full firing animation and goes back to idle and doesn't shoot unless the character is once again in his line of sight. So I know that programming is possible. I just gotta really look up some good tutorials on how to figure it out. But that he's little eyes with his eyes closed. I love it. File save, baby. Save on that. Alright. So that is the armadillo sprite. All done. What other sprites have not been animated at all? I have a number of sprites. I might not go into my list. You guys can't see at the moment. I got sprite sheets for different characters, so those are good to go. We got different sprites for death animations, which is really nice. What is this? Ah, sorry. I'm right now in a different program, which is why you guys can't see it at the moment. Open. I don't really have any sprites I want to work on. We got background stuff. We'll just do some background stuff. Why not? So I'm gonna close this program and give me a moment to reset the screen here. There we go. Sprite. Where's my background? There it is. Alright, people. So we are back on this. So as a reminder, these are our color palettes. The yellows are for the legit background, like the far distance background. Give me a second. I just realized I need to realign something here. That's weird. Ah, I know what's going on. There we go. That's about right. Alright, sorry about that. So, once again, the actual far backgrounds are yellow. The main backgrounds are these brown colors, these orange and brown colors. We are doing a dirt western town. And our hero, there's a little reference for him, is the one-armed bandit. He is a black and white character right here. He's a one-armed slot machine that has come to life and to bring justice to the world. The awnings, which are on the lighter colors, are the awnings on the floor, which are the same lighter colors, are areas he could walk on. As we get further down, I've realized I should have done the awnings as a separate sprite altogether. When I drop these into the program, it's going to be really hard to line these up, that's what I'm doing. The railings, there's a railing right there. And if I remove the background for a minute, nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. That's a railing right there. So I'm just, as I go through this, I'm getting looser and looser of how I do sprites. So there's not as stiff and like, you know, Windows Paint looking. So I'm getting a bit looser and looser and like just the anatomy, if you would. So yeah, I'm just trying to make a nice long straightaway stage. It's just a long straight stage, not one that has like up and down levels. Because I'm not sure if the programming I'm using at the moment will allow me to do that. Because the camera's following him, but when he jumps, the camera doesn't move with him. So if I was to have him fall downward, I don't know if the camera's going to follow him at all. That's a problem. So we got to figure that part out. Otherwise, just long straightaway stages, like Mario. So there's our ground. There's our original buildings. And here are our newer buildings. And those are the railings. Okay. So the real question is, what else to fill this up with? I have like, this is an issue with architecture. It's not my thing, man. I used a lot of mixed photo references from like actual Western towns to just like stage performance play areas, and it's just, I don't know anymore. I don't know what to put in here anymore. Oh, so I'm not too sure how long I want to make the town. You could pretty much go right across this whole stage real quick. Like an intro, if you would. It could be cheap and just repeat the backgrounds over and over again. Kind of doing that right here. These two buildings are a combination of the first earlier buildings and some signage. I'm just kind of at a moot point right now. Sorry if everything just came to a sudden halt. I just don't know what to do for some of the extra buildings here. We'll just figure it out together. Let's just put some shapes down. Nope, that's the wrong button. Put some wheelbarrows down. Yeah, let's put some wheelbarrows. Stack some wheelbarrows and then... Well, that was interesting. Watching a few people online who do a lot of sprite work I learned one of the good basics is just to literally just shape it out. Like, do all the little shapes, then you could go back with the finer details. Don't try and draw it, if that makes sense. So I do all the colors on one layer. Then I have a separate layer for the solid black and whites. Well, correction, the whites are also on this layer too. But I have a different layer just for black inks. Ah, screw it. I'm going to repeat this house, and I'll do some changes to it. I forgot I had combined the inks with part of the color layer, which is why... anyway. If I was to overlap this, how would it look? Probably gonna get rid of the awning on top of it. Something along that line. Okay, we'll figure that out. So, nope. Yes. Merge selected layer, deselect that. Alright, so that's new. That's new. And then the layer I just clicked, which you guys cannot see, is the old layer. Alright. Let's do some corrections on this. perhaps this will also have a jacked up window. I'm just really erasing it so I can remember to, you know, ink it later and break it later. There we go. Let me check something. Let me unlock that. How's this short railing fit? Oh, it does fit nice. Okay. I can repeat and put this railing on here. And then give the character something to jump to. Okay. But I still need to draw something around it. Around the building, that is. That way, the railing just doesn't. The railing sticks out better. What is going on? Oh. Because I forgot to deselect. Let me add some braces on this. Clean that up. It does this really annoying thing sometimes where I don't want it to do a gradation in its edges, because it has to be, I don't want no grayscale. I want like solid pixel work, you know? So you get like weird semi-translucent sprites like right here. And I do not like that. There we go. Nice. Okay, let's do some combination. That and this, these two combined. So you have that, and we have that. I'm gonna keep these two halves separate. I might want to do something behind the well, so I don't want to accidentally draw over that. Then eventually we go back and we just put a nice splatter of black inks here and there. So you can see he has the his ability to jump on the first awning, the abandoned rooftop there. Then he's back on the ground. You have a second awning, a broken awning, a long awning. Then he's back on the ground again. Then there's one here and one there. He should be able to make that jump. There's lots of open space up ahead because the animation of the jump. He jumps his own height, so he actually does jump out of the screen. So that's why I don't want to go higher than that. And everything should be lined up, give or take. I should add more to this building. That way it's higher up. Yeah, I gotta add more to it. that way. That's right about there. See how these awnings kind of line up? The base of this awning is the same base as this awning. If we bring it way across, this guy should be right about there. There we go. There we go. So I know he's in the right spot. Basically, I'm making the awnings their own sprite with their own collision box. That way when the character jumps on it, it knows where it's at. If I start making multiple collision boxes in the background, things get a bit funny. And also, I can only zoom in or zoom out so much in the program I'm using. So if I make a long stage, it's hard for me to zoom in and reset individual collision points in that stage. I'd rather make a long stage, make a predetermined reusable awning that's going to be copy and paste, and give that its own collision boxes and just place them randomly. It's kind of like having an empty street, and then rather than say you can't stand here, here, or here, you put boxes there and go, okay, you can't stand where these boxes are at. Same idea. I should have been doing that from the beginning, but I wasn't. And that's something I learned along the way. You know what? While we're here, let me lock down all of that for now. Let me go to the ink layer. And we're going to copy and paste some inks. I want to get some of the background completed, just so I could visually know what I'm working on. Now, where do you line up? Okay, that seems about right. Deselect, deselect, enter. Deselect, thank you very much. Oh, that reminds me. Let me get rid of the snap to ruler. That definitely helps. Actually, let me save that. Let me go back. Dude, I'm gonna keep some of these vertical lines for the top here because it looks like wood. It matches the wood. Like that. There we go. Let me get rid of that and that. There we go. That's that. Alright. Let me grab this guy again. Come back here, you. Wow. Bring him over. Figure out where the heck he needs to go. No. Let's do some erasing real quick. Right about there. Ooh. Alright, so I need to do some editing on this. That's fine. Yeah. We'll make it work. Deselect. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I want to get some of these inking done. That way I could say, I know what I'm looking at. It's one of those things where it's like I should wait to the end before I do any of the inking, but I want to get the inking in. Which song was that? I want to save that song. Hell yeah. Putting little stars next to all the songs I like. I'll download them later. So, as per usual, when I got nothing to talk about, let's talk about animation, people. I heard that the show that is being co-written by Dana Terrace, and I do say co-written because she has other people working with her. I believe it was called Knights of Guinevere, has been greenlit. Good for them, man. I want to see that. That seems like a fun show, man. A little bit macabre, which is kind of her thing, from what I understand. Even before she got known for like the Owl House, apparently she just loved writing more macabre stuff. But you know, for Disney, she couldn't really do that. So, Owl House was the most macabre it could get. That looks nice. Then let's go back to the original ink layer. Let's copy this, because this is obviously a copy as well. Control paste. And let's move it over. Right there. There it is. Let's get rid of stuff I don't need. We don't need that. The roof was completely was done differently, so hey, Red. So I know Frieren. We talked about Frieren before. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 and Golden Kaimur. I'm not familiar with the last two. You might have talked about them before. I can't remember like what their details were. I heard Delicious. Am I right in understanding that Delicious in Dungeon Dungeon Meshi has actually ended. Like the series, they actually did the whole series apparently. Let's hit save real quick. Oh, we got a long one. Hold on, guys. Going to show. Oh, sorry, that's the manga you told me about. Yes. So they're going for Gold Treasure. Um, I forgot you. I forgot that you told me they animate. They started animated as well. Yes. Yes. You introduced me to that series when as a manga. I forgot it was also being animated. I'm down to no water. Now, once again, since I'm winging this concept in terms of like what kind of villains, what kind of bosses. I have a few bosses in mind: a snake oil salesman, a crooked mayor, kind of inspired by Blazing Saddles, if you would. But if you have any ideas for like grunts, any kind of thugs you think might look good in sprite form, aside from just Cowboy number 17. Let me know. So I've been seeing this. By the way, maybe it's gonna be hard to describe. No, not hard to describe, but maybe hard to identify because I'm not sure how old this anime is. But I've been seeing these clips primarily about the female protagonist. I'm guessing that seems to be like an animated Kamen Rider, or rather, it's like she is either a Kamen Rider or she is like the typical like female sidekick to the Kamen Rider. And I keep seeing these images of just this girl with, yes, very large breasts, in what looks like a Kamen Rider kind of outfit, like what the women would wear as sidekicks to the Kamen Rider, just like trying her best to be the strongest hero. Like the clip I keep seeing is her like fighting a guy who's wearing like a faux Kamen Rider outfit, like a helmet that she punches off. Her just like in the gym, like legitimately getting like beefier. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I just been seeing the clips everywhere, and the one I just saw is like the shot of her like in the first episode when she's like working out versus the shot of her like later on, and she's like legitimately like drawn differently, like she's like big and jacked. It caught my attention. I'm like, that's interesting, man. Yeah, I'm thinking I might put some fencing, like fencing behind the well, just to take up that space in the background. Kind of how I have an open gap here, but there is a water tower behind that. And yes, there's gonna be a villain here. In fact, the bee we did in the last stream, the bumblebee, which or the wasp, which I've done some editing to. I just dropped him in there in the little animation test, and that's like a perfect spot for him to fly up and down in. I'm trying to. There was another animated show. Oh, Primal. I gotta get into. I gotta start watching Primal, man. Like I keep seeing clips from like the new season, and I'm like, I'm already hooked. I'm like, yes, yeah. Like that. It. Oh God, Primal was such a good show. I get it. It might not be for everyone, but damn, that show. That show got me hyped, man. Those barrels look nice. A little rough, but look nice. I like them. So, question: did you see the original? It was technically 2 seasons, but they were kind of short. Did you see the first 2 seasons of Primal? Because the first 2 seasons appeared to be, by the time they were done, a self-contained series that was getting to Tarkovsky's work. So no one was sure of how you would even continue from where they left off, given what happens in the series. So the basic premise behind Primal is survival. That's the whole idea. It is very violent, but it is violent for reasons because the characters, Spear, the caveman, and later on Fang, the dinosaur, live in a world where everything's trying to kill them. Like it is an unforgiving world. It is like kill and destroy or be killed and destroyed. That is the concept of Primal. In the first season, from the very get-go, I won't tell you what happens in the first episode, but the fact is, if you watch the first episode and you tell yourself, this isn't for me, that's it. Like, if you watch the first episode and you're like, whoa, that was surprisingly dark, I don't know about this, then that's fine. But something happens to Spear that, like, ruins his life, right? Spear is a caveman in this in this fictional world where cavemen and dinosaurs live together. But it also incorporates the idea of like time is a thing. So there's not just Spear, the apparently human character. There's also like more monkey men and more offshoots of humans. Like there's like this. They're all kind of living in the same time frame, right? So in the first episode, we meet Spear. We see that he's like pretty smart. He's like kind of like the man who begins to understand what tools are. Hence the name Spear. He creates a spear. And then his life gets wrecked. And in his pursuit of vengeance, he comes across Fang, and mistakenly thinks Fang is the reason for why things have gone bad, but then realizes that Fang's life is also ruined by the world they're in. So it's two people, a caveman who is leaving the mental state of animal, and an animal who has reached the end, kind of like reached the end of its evolution. It's like they're kind of that crossroads of like smart dinosaur, smart human kind of meeting, and through their like shared trauma, they learn to lean on each other. They both go through something horrible, and they essentially become friends. Fang is not Spear's pet. It is his partner. It is like his friend. They survive because of each other. And the whole first season is them doing that. Just them just running into like the most wildest stuff you're going to find and beating the shit out of it to survive. Into the second season, they then introduce a new character, and which then leads them away from their land. Like you realize essentially if Africa is the cradle of all mankind, and the new world, America, or further out Australia, is literally the new world where things begin to change. You leave the jungle and you find the Badlands. You leave the Badlands and you find the deserts, and you find more civilization as you go outward away from the primal instinct. That's what the season 2 is about. Season 2 is them slowly leaving the jungles of where they came from and they start meeting like the next most dangerous thing, which is evolved man. If you thought a T-Rex that could bite a tree in half is bad, imagine a guy who just found out how to make steel. And then the show goes from there. And it also incorporates, like, at first it's like dinosaurs and humans. Okay, that's interesting. Dinosaurs and humans fighting like monkey men. Okay, that's cool. And then they'll start slowly introducing like paranormal stuff, like cults and like, even, what is it? It's Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, show there's guys with swords and there's a forest and they're fighting monsters, but then a freaking wizard shows up. Like, it starts to kind of enter the sword and sorcery aspect as it gets near the end, and then the series ends with what is meant to be Spear's end. Like, Spear reaches a point where he can no longer adapt. Like that's what basically happens. You can take the man out the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out the man. It's kind of like a Tarzan story. Sure, you could take him and introduce him to not modern day. You can introduce Spear to what is more or less an advanced society. Basically, people who understand you don't have to live in a cave, but he can't adapt to it. So his story essentially ends near the end of the second season. But it ends in a really cool way. Like, it ends the way only it can end for Spear, which is just through fighting for survival. And then that was that. And everyone's like, that was a cool story, man. Like, what else are you going to do with that? And then all of a sudden, the new season drops, and it's like, what if we find a way to bring Spear back? And like you said, it's a zombie caveman and a dinosaur. And that's where it picks up. I don't know what's happening in this season. I just know he does come back. But, like, I don't know what happened to all the characters in the previous season. I have not watched it yet. So it's essentially like, how do you bring this guy back? How do you take someone that's gone through shit and hell and still bring him back and be like, but wait, there's more? And that's Primal, man. Definitely check it out when you get a chance, man. It is Gendy Tartakovsky at, like, his best. There is no dialogue for, like, almost the entire series. And even when there is dialogue, it's in a different language. So you're not supposed to know what they're saying anyway. It's just like, it's Samurai Jack versus the ninja. That whole scene where it's like, there's no dialogue. It's just Jack dressed in white versus the ninja dressed in black. It's just that. But like, with the A-OK to just break bones. It's a good series. And I'm gonna, I have what's it called? I have Optimum, so I'm sure I could probably just like watch it on the Optimum channels. What's it called? What's the one I'm thinking of? Not digital download, but basically, you just go into Optimum and like look up shows that have already aired, and usually they'll have them like on repeat. So that's what I want to do. If you can't tell, I'm excited. Woo! Hell yeah, man. On demand. Why couldn't I think of that word? Thank you. It's on demand. It's also on HBO Max. But, that's I don't know. They tried so hard to bleed people. Yeah, once HBO and whoever they merged with got a hold of like Cartoon Network, they just want to bleed people. So even they're like, watch it on Cartoon Network and HBO Max. Like, they know they can't just have an HBO Max because that thing failed. Didn't stop them from like deleting half of their freaking what's it called? Half of their freaking library, but still. Hell, man, there is no Cartoon Network studio anymore. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, so is Cartoon Network just dead and it's all just like reruns, but then you're still making shows like Primal? I don't know anymore. Ooh, let me hit a like on this one. So once again, I'm just using YouTube's free audio library. sound effects. They have like sound effects and everything, which I need to like really dive into. And I'm just saying all the songs from a certain like it's funk and happiness. Those are the moods I chose, and all the ones I like, I'm hitting a star next to it. That way I could go back, download them all, and just make a playlist on my computer. Cause the thing is, it's playing, but I have to keep every time a song ends, I gotta go back and open up Chrome to have it. It doesn't automatically continue to the next page. Like there. And there we go. There we go. Not really. I have been watching a few clips here and there because that was huge. Dispatch. So remember a while back I was talking about Dispatch and I was like I saw a trailer for something I thought was a show coming up, and then you told me you think it was a video game. It was Dispatch I was thinking about, and I've been seeing a few. I've been watching any full like let's plays of it. I've been just been seeing a few clips here and there, and that looks like freaking fun as all hell. And I have to give credit, man. The dialogue is so quippy. Yes, they used VTubers and they used YouTubers. But the dialogue between them is so quippy because everyone in it is just like this snarky jackass. And even then, like, because apparently there's like tons of different endings. Like, it's not just one of those things where it's like it changes a few things here and there. Apparently there's a lot of different endings for it. Yeah, and like I said, the dialogue just makes me chuckle. Like it's so funny because everyone's just like they're all assholes. That's what it is. They're all just assholes. The jokes I keep hearing are like, so I know you can romance the Invisible Girl, Invisigirl, and or Blonde Blazer, but everyone's like, man, everyone's out the jokes online are like, I want to romance the freaking Bat guy, and of course everyone's like, you can't romance the giant devil woman. Those are the two complaints. The two complaints are, I want to romance the giant devil woman, and I want to romance the Bat guy. There's a scene that gave me a chuckle. It's I forget his name, but Jacksepticeye voices him. It's the strong man. Like he's basically a leprechaun. He's like, you know, the short guy with the super strength. I'm gonna look her up because that name sounds familiar. But the one that Jacksepticeye voices, there's just this scene where he gets like punted. He gets punted through a glass door. Like he just gets punted through a glass door. But the noise he makes of like just gets up, does it so forth, and then walks back into the room. And depends on what dialogue you choose. But one of the dialogue, he's like, "Who punched you?" He says, "No one punched me." And the guy's like, "Are you concussed? Are you gaslighting me? I just saw you go through a window." And he goes, "No, I was kicked through a window." It looks like a trip, man. It looks really good. I want to say, I don't know why they did it, but the fact that they made Invisigirl asthmatic was really interesting. As someone who's asthmatic, you just don't see that often. It's you either see it as a comical thing, you see it as like a real issue, like the person's having an asthma attack. But to have her just casually use an inhaler, or maybe I'm wrong, I haven't seen the whole series. Maybe that's how she gets her superpowers. I don't know. But when you first introduce her, to just have her casually use it and then because that's what it is like to have asthma. Sometimes you just casually use an asthma pump. Yo, I had a feeling about that. Because I'm like, this is... Okay, so she activates her power by holding her breath. That is interesting. So they use an asthma pump, like once, but even then, it's just done so casually that like it made me really like enjoy the scene. I'm like, I like this character because there's something about that. But dude, like, okay, remember that guy from Dragon Ball Z that everyone thought could teleport? He was one of the Ginyu Force guys. He was the little toad guy, but what he was really doing was that he would freeze time by holding his breath. He would freeze time by holding his breath and just run. But, and I don't know, I don't know if this is like, okay, The Owl House, a show I love. In The Owl House, at some point, the main character, Luce, develops a way to turn invisible. But she does it by holding her breath. Like, she holds her breath because she's excited and then activates it. And when she goes, yeah, it turns off. And then she realizes she needs to hold her breath to stay invisible for that like magical spell to work. And I'm like, I wonder why that's a thing now. Yeah, I guess it's just a way to like, not nerf, but to balance such a powerful thing. Could be able to go invisible, like, that's crazy. So that's an interesting thing that it's like that it comes up so often. Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the funny thing. We say it's OP, but God, I'm trying to remember what cartoon it was. There was some cartoon I saw a long time ago. It was like the guy's invisible but not invincible. And they say that a lot. And they're like, why is that so important? And they're like, do you know how easy it is to get hit by a car when you're invisible? You know how easy it is to get bumped by someone on the street and trip into traffic when you're invisible? It's one of those things where it's like, being invisible does not make you invincible. And when you're invisible and someone knows it, they will fill a room with gunfire and actual fire just to get rid of you. So it's like it's like it was some cartoon I saw years ago, but that was like a really important thing, where they were like, he's invisible but not invincible, and they were like, don't forget that. I'm happy by mixing and matching the houses I already have, and then editing them afterwards. It gives me a chance if I feel a bit more loose when I'm doing this. So it gives me a chance to do some different things, you know. I saw someone do a really interesting chart of the 3 ways they do shading in Metal Slug. It's how they do the pixels, like how they do different types of pixel alignment to give different types of shading. I need to find that tutorial and I gotta find a way to replicate that, as opposed to just randomly doing pixels. They had a certain way, like a mat of pre-made pixels. I gotta find that particular thing. I just saw the advertisement for that. I actually have the original Dino Crisis 2 on my PlayStation. So for those of you who don't know, back in like high school, 2002, some guy in my high school was like, "Hey, you want my PlayStation?" So he sold me his PlayStation along with a majority of bootleg games and a few actual games, and I was like, "Sure," because that was when the new PlayStation came out. So I have Dino Crisis. I've played Dino Crisis 2, and I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and in fact, when I played Resident Evil 3 on my PlayStation and beat it, two of the things I purchased, because you could purchase stuff like as like extras after you beat the game once or twice, was like a kind of fuck you gun. Just a gun that's like a gun you shouldn't have at the start of the game. I got that, and I got the outfit of the girl from Dino Crisis. So yeah, I hadn't played that game in a long time, but I did like Dino Crisis 2, especially with no context as to what was happening. It's like it's like time travel over time travel. Like I think if I remember correctly, in Dino Crisis 2, you travel to the future, but when you get there, you seem to be in the past, and you think something's gone wrong. And what it is that you've traveled to a point in the future where someone in the future tried to travel into the past and merged it. So you're in the future in a place that's a mixture of prehistoric and future technology like slammed together, if I remember it correctly. That was a fun game. And it definitely had the puzzle solving feel of Resident Evil without the horror. It had the jump scares, but not a lot of the horror elements, which I liked. The only horror element it had in it, and if I haven't mentioned this before, I'll mention it again, was when you're fighting the giant plesiosaurus, and that scares the freak out of me, man. The plesiosaurus is that one dinosaur. It's like a brontosaurus, but it's in the water. So it's like a giant snake neck that comes out the water. You fight a bunch of those, and then you fight one in the water. Like, out of all the dinosaurs I see in, like, when I go to the Museum of Natural History, that just scares the hell out of me, man. Because it just naturally has a teeth of nothing but, like, its teeth are like that of an anglerfish. Just nails coming out. And it's a giant snake-like creature in the water. You know, if that's what it looked like. I'm sure, like, if you ever found one of them frozen, it was probably a big, fat, whale-looking thing. But it looks like a giant freaking snake in the water. And, yeah, that plain Dino Crisis, that stage, nope. Hated it with a passion, man. Hated it with a passion. Just doing some broken windows. Hey. I've never played Silent Hill games. I hear F is interesting. I hear F isn't too bad. Actually, didn't they just announce another one after F? Or is that the remaster that they've been talking about? Is that the remake they announced? Because F just came out. Alright, so let's have some fun. I am going to hit save on this. I want to show you guys if I could get stream to work for me. I want to show you guys like the kind of like layout I have so far for my game. So let's do that. Let me turn off the music for a minute. Oh, like a separate PC just for that, rather than have to reset stuff. Why not? All right, guys. So bear with me for a minute. Hey, G develop. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, yeah. So they're just pumping these guys out then. Oh, what's new? What's new in G? I'm using G develop for the programming, by the way. Bug fixes. What is else? Give me a second. What is else? Sorry. GDevelop has this whole thing where it's like if A then B. So it's like if A is pressed on the keypad, trigger jump animation, right? And then beneath that, if jump animation is active, play sound effect. So if A then B. So I have an else, as in like something else. I'm just looking at what that means. There's a lot of keywords that I'm looking into. It's a lot to learn. A lot to learn. I gotta show you. Shoot, there is this program I'm seeing people use a lot. It is purposely like a low poly program. So you basically just like take a box, put a box in front of it, put two boxes on the side, wallpaper. You have a truck. It is a low poly like program. Like if you wanted to make a game similar to like, well, not a game. If you want to make models that was similar to like Mega Man Legends. It is this really simple program I keep seeing different people talk about online. Pixel Game Maker MV. I'll look into that. I'm still learning other games too. So give me a second. I'm going to open up what I've been working on. And hopefully I'll be able to show you what it is. So, preview. Can you guys even hear that? No, you can't hear the music. That's fine. Stand by. So let's do a capture window. Chrome. Not that one. There it is. So this okay. So this is my game. Ignore the fact that there's two guys here is because the one I'm moving is the one I'm controlling. The one that's not moving is actually just part of the background. Because the background is a work in progress. In fact, you can still see the semi-translucent layers. So you have my background. As I move, you have the tiles behind that of the sky. up in the top left, you should be able to see my health points. So I might change the way that looks. I could jump. You have the animation of me scooting back and forth. My little spin knife. So that's Sting. I hit him once. Boom. Sting dies. Check the death animation. This is just a sprite I'm using to test the back and forth movement. There's our bug from before, testing the up and down movement. He has no collision right now, so I can walk right through him. Right? Here's another Sting. If I jump on this, and if I walk into him, you probably saw the little star animation that came off of me. That's a placeholder. But in the top left, one of my coins just got cracked. That's because I lost a health point. So I'm going to jump up here and I'm going to kill him. So that's the ground animation. So rather than have villains flicker in and out, villain dies. There's a preset animation for each one. Gonna kill this one as well. There, so you can see right here, these are platforms I can stand on. You can see the background, the parallax moving background. It's not perfect. Something's a little off about it. Like it's a little wiggly. Like right there, you see how I start moving? So something's going on with the camera movement that it's bugging me. But I don't want to go too crazy with it. There's another glitch. I press once, he jumps. If I hold it, he does that. I need to figure out what's going on with that. There's an issue with this program where the presets for the movement, if you hold jump, he jumps constantly. Now if I go online and find ways around that, I press it once and he doesn't jump constantly, but he does that. So I gotta find, I'm trying different tutorials to reset his jumping animation. But we have a moving sprite, dude. And then if I jump up here, oh, yeah, there is something going on right here with the, I think this platform and this platform, the collisions are too close. So when I go towards one, I fall off of it way too easily. But I'm gonna correct that. Spinning coin, look what happens to my health meter when I get the coin. It resets my health meter. Do I have another button? Oh yeah, there's a placeholder. The idea is at the end of the stage, I'm gonna put a barrier. So at the end of the stage, you break the barrier, and when you walk past it, it jumps to the next stage. There's also a thing where I could collect a coin when I don't need. So I kind of waste it in a way. So maybe I need to find I need to do a if and then what. So I guess if health is full and collide with coin, do not. It's basically if health is full and collide with coin, do not collect coin. Do not delete coin. Because you wouldn't collect health if your health points weren't full. It kind of goes to waste. So those are all program. So there's a long way to go with the programming. But in the meantime, I could work on all the sprites, work on the backgrounds, and just follow tutorials here and there. And then I'll figure out how to fix the background. I'll figure out how to fix his weird jumping glitch. I don't want to hate the game. I don't want to hate the program because I could sit there and go over an hour trying different techniques, trying different programs, trying different things, and I just end up looping around and not figuring out why something isn't working. Sometimes you gotta step back, work on the artwork, and this is the one-armed bandit. Oh yeah, there's no duck animation, but thanks to the programming of the game, platforms can be changed to have their various programming. This platform has a jump through programming, has an option to jump through it, and if I press down, an option to fall through it. I have not done a duck animation. Based on characters who will be shooting at you, I'm gonna decide whether or not I want to do a duck animation, and if that's true, I might change all the platforms in which you can't fall through them. You have to like make your way around them. But yeah, this is my boy. We got a bot, a bot that, a bot that a bot it's a lazy bot. It's not even like, do you want more views? It's really just like, here's a link. Also, I had to figure out the jump in terms of gravity, because there's different gravities in this game. So I have to make sure I could jump just enough to clear him. How high can I jump? So, you know, how high can I jump? How quickly do I descend? So yeah, so he jumps just slightly out of frame. And yeah, so I'm looking at the background. Maybe I gotta just adjust the speed. Because the cacti are moving almost as fast as he is. They should... I think I gotta adjust the speed of the cacti in the background. But actually, let me show you from the get-go preview. Okay. So, I have different scenes. So you have your basic start. There's a placeholder. You press start. This looks so much like a freaking flash animation. But this, once again, this was actually part of a previous game called Cactus Clearer. This is all placeholding. So I have your basic controls. I have ways to show people how to control. I press back. You can't hear it, but this is me practicing with sound effects. I don't know what's causing this little sparkle in the corner. And then you hit play, and it goes here. So I'm practicing the start screen, the intro screen, the start screen, the first stage. Like, I'm practicing how each one works. And let's get killed. So I go, bam, I got hit once. Bam, I get hit twice. I get, bam, ugh, blows up. The animation of him blowing up is also stock footage from this program. I hit try again, sends me back here. It's all just me practicing. Have you heard of Pico 8? It's a cool fantasy console. What? There's an entire community of passionate game devs. It's very limited, but still some interesting stuff. Oh. What do you mean by fantasy console? Like it's a program or a console? Pico 8, I haven't heard about that. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've been developing in G Develop. That's what I've been working on. And let me see. Got it. I mean, a few people suggested. I heard about G Develop from someone at New York Comic Con. I've had different people tell me about a number of different like video game programming. I mean, I'm already started with G Develop. I'm already this far in. I don't want to try and jump to another one, to another one, to another one. I'm stubborn that way. I am stubborn that way. Okay. Text me all of this. I'll forget it. What was it? It was Pico 8. What was the one before that? Pixel Game Maker MV. All right. Let me turn that off. My alarm just went off. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm the one thing I like about GDevelop is that it does give you there are a lot and a lot of tutorials. It's just a matter of going through them and find the ones that help you out the best. Reddit, as always, is a good place too. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, man. Now check it out. I think we're gonna call it for tonight. I think I'm gonna call it. We got some good stuff done. I'm a little tired though. Tomorrow's vacation day for me. Not vacation. Tomorrow's a holiday for me. And then I have to figure out stuff for the rest of the week. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, some scheduling stuff has been happening with me regarding work. I'm okay with work. Work is fine. But essentially, I might have to take some time off from work. But then I have to also let HR know about it and my manager know about it. And then that's also going to roll over into me trying to get out of jury duty. Basically, this whole week is going to be up in the air in terms of me figuring out what is going on in my schedule. But yeah, I have to take some time off this week. And my mind has just been all over the place in terms of like, I just want to take some vacation time, but I can't. I have to take time off for something else. But I also have to let my boss know about it. I also have to let other people know about it. And it's just a whole number of things. So, I might do some random streams throughout the week, just to keep my mind stable. Cause it's hard for me to like if I take vacation time, I need like 1 or 2 days to like escape, like physically and mentally escape like the scheduling of it, the scheduling of it to then relax. So when I'm taking time off, that's like surprise. Like if I'm sick, I can't relax. I feel like should I be at work? Should I be doing something? I'm like at home stressed. I need the time to like get away from it, which is why, dude, the weather's getting better. Our buddy Joe, our buddy Orc Punch, heck, 1 or 2 people from my job who want to hang out. I need to meet up with some people, man. I need to get out and just walk around. Not that the weather seems to be getting warmer, because it's hard for me. It's getting harder and harder for me to relax in the weekend. Because I just get home. I'm just tired from the weekday. I crash Saturday. Sunday I do chores. I'm back at work. And you know how hard it is to get out of that freaking like regimen. Sometimes you just gotta do something. But yeah, like I said, I'm off tomorrow. And if you're off tomorrow, I don't know. We'll be in contact, man. We'll see. We'll text each other early in the morning. Anyway, enough of my personal stuff. Everyone who joined in today's stream, thank you so much. Thank you to the new follower. Make sure, let me get your name again. I want to make sure I don't lose your name. Kine? Tricky Kine? Kyun? Kin? Thanks, dude. Triggy, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining the stream and all of that. A reminder to everyone, these streams stay up for about a week or so here on Twitch and then get saved permanently over on YouTube. Check out previous streams of this meaning of pixel artwork. Check out the interns' Let's Plays of Cuphead. At some point, I am going to see if I can collect his videos, and I'll get Tricks. Tricks is someone else I work with. I'll get Tricks to do some editing, and I'll make a compilation video of all the times that intern succeeded. So like basically cut down all of his gameplay into just him beating the bad guys with some humor in between, as a kind of like previously on this Let's Play before I get his butt back on track. And I believe that is it. So once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.